After suffering his first knockout defeat in the MMA in January 2021 in the hands of Dustin Poirier and losing the rematch 6 months later due to a fractured tibia, 2021 has not been the best fighting year for Conor McGregor. Since suffering that horrific fracture, McGregor has been sidelined by the injury and nothing much has been seen or heard of him.
I see a lot of people talking funny stuff about like the leg kick didn't knock him out. What happened? So DC says in the detailed breakdown, I kick Conor's calf and Conor steps back and his leg kind of goes. And DC says, well, that's the leg kick that, hurt his leg or whatever. But when he went after that leg kick, he kind of reached down to grab the foot and threw an uppercut. And I was switch stance, so I threw a cross from my backhand that clipped him good. And that's when he took the step back and was hurt. I think that's a detail people are missing.
The whole MMA fandom has missed his brash, cocky and trash talks before and after fights.
Right here, the hardest hitting 145 pound, the real hardest hitting 145er right here. This guy TKOs people. When I knock people out, they don't fucking move. Who the fuck is that guy?
And many can't wait to see the Notorious in the octagon again. The main question is, when is he making a return? How far has Conor McGregor gone with his recovery? What recent information is available for us to know when to expect him? Who are the possible opponents lined up for him on his return? These and more will be our main focus of the day. After fracturing his leg in that July bout against Dustin, I have monitored McGregor's recovery situation, and from all indications, the Notorious is recovering well and might be ready to jump into the cage in mid-2022. In a recent interview with Submission Radio, McGregor's head coach, John Kavanagh, gave a positive update on the McGregor situation. He said he's going to be back in the gym. He's going to be back on the mats now in the next couple of weeks with me. He's doing a lot of strength training at the moment and will start combat sports training again. Talking about how fresh McGregor is in training and his readiness to return, Kavanagh further said he wanted to start his training with some basic drills, but McGregor insisted on 100% training. In the words of Kavanagh, he said, "Look, I'd rather if we just start off with some techniques, some drills, let's see how you're going." And he's like, "No, I'm going to do 5x5, that's what I'm coming back to do." In a recent flurry of tweets by McGregor, there is also an indication that he is not joking about his recovery. Lately, McGregor has been very active on Twitter, talking tough about his return. In a series of tweets, the Notorious looked all bulked up and massive. He looked more like a middleweight than a lightweight. In one of his tweets he wrote, "Incredible core workout completed on the Ground Zero program." The above tweet was preceded by another where he posted, "They said time and time that my accumulated wealth has quelled my fire. They are wrong." In another he tweeted, "Bring all what is coming on. Bring it on." In this particular tweet, McGregor is already talking back at those trying to write him off after that debilitating injury. In his usual nature of tough talking, I also believe that he wants to remind us all to wait for a reinvigorated McGregor. From these recent activities, there is no doubt that Conor McGregor's return is imminent. It's just a matter of time. However, there still is some question regarding who is next to face the former UFC featherweight and lightweight double champion. Of course, almost everyone would want to face off against McGregor due to the money and vibe he brings to the table. Notable among his possible opponents are Michael Chandler. However, a former featherweight champion, Max Holloway, has had McGregor's name on his lips. Max believes that there is a high chance of fighting Conor once again. The two had fought back in August 2013, and a rematch between them on Conor's return cannot be written off entirely. Usually, one would expect McGregor to fight lower contenders in the lightweight division for a warm-up fight before squaring off against the big guns, but it seems McGregor will not have any of that. Confirming this, McGregor's coach was quoted as saying, "He's not so much about warm-up fights. He's pretty warm to me as it is. So what will come, will come. He's got 100 opponents lined up, it would appear." Following Conor's recent run to form, in which he has lost 3 out of his last 4 fights, many do not expect the Notorious to headline any further fights, but that seems very unlikely. The UFC top executive has a different plan. Recently, The Sun quoted the UFC president Dana White saying that Conor McGregor is still one of the top 10 guys in the world and his return will be a headliner. From the words of White, it's pretty obvious that not just the MMA fans expect Conor McGregor's imminent return, but the UFC president also has high hope of having Conor back in the octagon sooner than later. Whether or not Conor McGregor's return will make him a better fighter remains to be seen. We all know the Notorious to be a tough fighter, and no one is sure of the version of McGregor that we will be witnessing. But one thing is certain, fight lovers will hope to see a stronger, brutish and more ferocious McGregor. They will be hoping to see a McGregor throwing his signature kicks to the body and the head like we are expecting from him. So guys, we will be drawing the curtain here. Let me know what your thoughts are about McGregor's imminent return to the octagon. If you like what we do, please do not forget to like the video. Also, hit the subscribe button and notification bell, and see you in the next episode.